I'm Jimmy Zito, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you how a soccer player has so much success on and off the field.
I'm Katie Fitzgerald. Lying is already bad enough, but what happens when it's one of your teachers that does it? I'll tell you straight ahead on WVU News.
As Morgantown grows, so does the need for housing. I'm Zach Oser, and I'll tell you why some people are upset about construction happening right here in downtown. Our award-winning WVU News starts right now.
Huntington's disease is a genetic disorder that causes people to lose control of their motor functions, thus appearing as if they are intoxicated. I'm Kylie Putnam.
And I'm Whitley Rose. More students on campus means an increase in housing. Find out what residents are saying about new downtown construction. These stories and more on this week's edition of WVU News. On September 6th, Jeffrey Bain was arrested for allegedly being intoxicated in public, but Bain's family claims that he was sober.
His family says Bain suffers from Huntington's disease, which caused his erratic behavior. I had the chance to find out more on how one local man is seeking justice for his family.
I called 911 for this man.
That voice you just heard was Sarah Bostonia, who called 911 after seeing Jeffrey Bain pinned down by Westover police. The YouTube video has caused outrage and has raised questions of police brutality. The city of Westover sees this as a non-issue, but the family of Jeffrey Bain feels his rights were violated.
I want justice brought for my uncle. I want the charges dropped, and I just want light spread to the nation, because as a nation, it's becoming a reoccurring problem, and that's why this is an issue.
A 10-minute YouTube video appears to show Jeffrey Bain bleeding from the face while being held down by police officers. Bain's nephew says his uncle's abnormal movements were symptoms of his Huntington's disease. Experts say social media and video sharing websites have had citizens question police brutality in their community. This location right behind me is where the incident between Jeffrey Bain and Westover police occurred. It has more than 100,000 views on YouTube so far. Bain's family members have a strong social media presence with a Facebook page called Justice for Jeffrey Bain. While Josh Bain does not agree with the allegations, he hopes that sharing his uncle's story will open eyes across the nation.
If I can make a difference with my uncle's story for not only the Huntington's disease community, as well as the entire nation with the police and the brutality that we're seeing day after day on the news, then that's what it's here for. That's the point of the page.
In just the past 2 months, there have been 5 major police brutality incidents across the nation. I reached out to the Westover Police Department several times for comment, but they declined due to the ongoing investigation.
Baines was booked on counts of obstruction of justice, disorderly conduct, and battery of an officer.
Other people who suffer from Huntington's disease have also been mistaken for being intoxicated.
2 years and $200 million later, a former WVU faculty member has students questioning the legitimacy of their education.
That's right, Whitley. Crime reporter Katie Fitzgerald is here to tell us about the WVU scandal that's making national headlines. Katie?
Thanks, Kylie and Whitley. Former WVU Dr. Anup Shankar is being accused of fabricating his entire resume. NBC News is exposing the alleged lies and deceit of a former researcher at WVU. Records show that Shankar faked his credentials to land the high-profile job, and students are upset that Shankar was even hired in the first place.
According to WVU's Academic Integrity Clause, if students are caught cheating or engaging in plagiarism or fabrication, you could receive an unforgivable F, and in major cases, expelled from school. School of Public Health graduate student Pat Cushing has worked closely with professors involved at the school.
Since they are established professionals, they should be held to an even higher standard of just what's expected of them in academic integrity, the way that their studies are published, who's an author on certain studies.
WVU failed to release any information about Dr. Shankar's fabrication until now, but is continuing to keep statements vague.
You know, it is a personnel matter. It remains a personnel matter for the time being, and we are looking at the processes, and we'll make a decision when the time is right that we can talk.
Students may now have to question if their teachers are who they really say they are.
or if they're faking who they really are.
Officials are still investigating the fraud, but WVU failed to share knowledge with other universities. Virginia Commonwealth University hired Dr. Schenker only months after he fled from WVU.
WVU should have to tell other schools, like, hey, we found this guy and he's a liar. And they should let other people know, because right now they're doing the investigation and it's taking so long.
WVU's School of Public Health Epidemiology Department declined to comment on the case.
According to NBC News, Schenker is also under investigation by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Kylie and Whitley, back to you.
Thanks, Katie. A month into the school year and crime is on the rise in Morgantown.
That's right, Whitley. The Cleary report stated that crime is steadily increasing, but this year there has been over 100 arrests and alcohol seems to be a key player. Officials say that crime increases when students are in town. University police are promoting the Say It, See It campaign, which was adopted by the Federal Department of Homeland Security after 9/11. WVU is the first university to join the campaign in West Virginia. In addition to reporting any suspicious activity, University Police Chief Bob Roberts encourages people to travel in group where one person stays sober. You can also request a pickup or a drop-off service using WV Safe Ride.
Crime isn't the only thing growing this semester. About 5,000 more students are attending WVU this fall.
And with growing number of students, additional housing is essential. Reporter Zachary Ozer is here to tell us about new construction plans for the downtown area. Zach?
You can't help but notice new apartment buildings popping up all over Morgantown. But new construction plans are stirring up controversy in the downtown area. Traffic in Morgantown is a growing problem, and when plans for a new apartment were made public, there were some concerns.
Right now, the way the streets are set up and they're not big enough, they're already over congested.
The Morgantown Planning Commission rejected the plan early this summer. This forced CA Student Living, the owners of the building, to make changes. The changes were presented to the commission recently, and the commission decided to move forward with construction. But not all residents are happy with the decision.
For me, they were bullied because they were taken to court. So instead of going through all of the court proceedings and stuff, they just bowed down and said, okay, yeah, do it.
But Morgantown business owner Charles McEwen says students living downtown is good for the economy.
If you put that many more people in the downtown area, it's certainly going to be good for all the businesses downtown.
Right here on Spruce Street is where the new apartment building will be built. It'll be 12 stories high and house 89 apartment units. The construction is expected to be complete by the fall of 2016. The 12-story structure will include 4 parking decks and take up almost a full acre. Kylie and Whitley, back to you.
Fever, runny nose, and sneezing are the symptoms of a common cold, but add wheezing into the mix and you may have a deadly virus.
That's right, Kylie. A virus is sweeping through the nation's elementary schools. It's important that kids and their parents take the necessary measures to stop the spread of this disease.
A total of 140 people in 16 states were confirmed to have the enterovirus D68. This is an upper respiratory virus that causes flu-like symptoms. Parent Trina Wolf is taking precautions when it comes to her kids.
Normally what we do, hand sanitizer and, make sure we wash our hands thoroughly.
With this virus on the rise, registered nurse Katie Estep tells us what steps to take for those who are worried.
The best way is prevention. But people who are susceptible to it, it's, lots of fluids we recommend, plenty of rest. For those that are more severe, like the children that have asthma or other breathing problems already, supplemental oxygen as they need it.
Experts say to avoid infection, cleansing germs is key. By washing your hands for at least 20 seconds, you can reduce your risk by over 50%. Prevention is key in fighting infection, and school officials want parents and kids to be on the same page.
I sneeze into my arm and cough into my arm to prevent from getting sick and hand sanitize my hands.
West Virginia has no confirmed cases at this time. However, many children are still waiting for their tests to return. Whitley Rose, WVU News, Morgantown.
The virus was first seen in California over 50 years ago, but only recently has it become a serious issue.
WVU athletes are held to high standards and are expected to perform just as well in the classroom as they do on the field.
Coming up on WVU News, sports anchor Jimmy Zito tells us about one student athlete who is scoring major academic points.
I'm Jimmy Zito, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you how a soccer player has so much success on and off the field.
We're all different. Our interests, our backgrounds can influence our futures. But without focus, they're just dreams. But what if someone could give your interests life? If they could give your background power? If they could fuel what motivates you? That's what gives dreams meaning, purpose. And perhaps that was the moment you knew you wanted to be a mountaineer.
Some student athletes are better known for their skills on the field than in the classroom.
But one WVU soccer star is breaking the mold. Sports anchor Jimmy Zito joins us now in the studio with more on the story.
Thanks, Kylie and Whitley. There are currently 17 varsity sports with roughly 500 student athletes at WVU. WVU men's soccer team is ranked 3rd in the Mid-American Conference. With their demanding commitment, they have little time to focus on class. But one player is making it work.
WVU senior forward Andy Bevan has been on Morgantown's campus for 3.5 years. He came all the way from Napier, New Zealand, where he was a 4-year starter for Napier Boys High.
Early August, I went straight from Columbia right to Morgantown, a place I'd never been to before, never seen any pictures of it.
During his freshman season, Bevan was named to the All Big East rookie team and started in all 20 games the Mountaineers played that season.
I'm the most experienced player, both in the past and both in minutes for WVU, so I'm like, I should probably be the right candidate for the job, and I could teach a lot of the boys a lot of things and lead by example.
That's not the only stat Bevan cares about. When he's not passing to teammates on the field, he's passing in the classroom. Bevan has been able to maintain a 3.94 GPA while here at West Virginia University. He's been on the President's List 3 times and the Dean's List once.
WVU Athletic Director Oliver Luck explains how Bevan's leadership is so vital to the team's success.
He's a guy who's performed, very well on the field and very well academically, all-around good, solid kid. And I think, you want those kind of kids to do well in leadership roles. And, of course, just being named a captain is really a feather in his cap. But it's an indication of the kind of person that he is.
So far in 4 games this season, Bevan has a total of 3 goals and 5 assists. You can watch Bevan and the rest of the WVU men's soccer team all season at Dick Delick Stadium.
In 2007, WVU built an athletic academic performance center in the Coliseum. The center cost over $1 million and provides a quiet place for athletes to study. Kylie and Whitley, back to you.
Thanks, Jimmy. WVU athletes aren't the only thing scoring big. U.S. News Report recently rated the top best 100 schools.
That's right. Congratulations to WVU for making the list. Well, that's all we have for this week's edition of WVU News.
Remember to visit our website and to follow us on Twitter. I'm Kylie Putnam.
And I'm Whitley Rose. Thank you for watching WVU News. We'll see you next time.